morning, ladies. It's such a pleasure to have you at Home of Inspiration this morning on Reconciliation Day. And good morning or good afternoon to you viewers, depending on where you are, what time it is now as we're watching this. Today is going to be a lovely day. My name is Rosaline Sebolao, Dr. Rosaline Sebolao of Home of Inspiration. At Home of Inspiration, we focus on professional development and life coaching. And today, on this Reconciliation Day, I decided to launch my vlog in a special way, in a very interesting way. I have had a 6 months journey with some of my clients that I've been coaching, and today I just requested them to come and reflect with me on how coaching has assisted them and how they can move from here. And you probably will learn what coaching does to a person. And before that, I just want to thank them for this opportunity and maybe ask them to introduce themselves, starting with a young lady on my right.
Okay, my name is Ntete. I'm 19 years old. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. I like drama, I like acting, I like creating content, I like looking into detail. Yes,
Okay.
that's what I do.
Okay. And just for the record, Ntete is the brain behind this blog. She will be, monitoring and ensuring that this goes on very well. So I'm blessed to have Ntete as a coachee, but at the same time as a business partner now. A 19-year-old, amazing lady.
My name is Kilebogile Mukobi, a mother, wife, daughter. I love money.
And she deals with money.
Yes, I'm mostly working with money. I'm the treasurer at church that I attend. I'm also the treasurer, second treasurer, Bloemfontein second treasurer. At work, I'm a management accountant, also dealing with money, dealing with accounts, reconciliations. I love going to church. I'm mostly found at the church. I'm mostly involved in church activities. I spend most of my time doing church work, as well as my husband, my inspiration.
Wow.
The person that always stands with me through thick and thin.
Lovely.
And I have 2 boys, 16 and 13. They are both at Grey College. The eldest is doing grade 9. The youngest grade 7 going to grade 8. I love my children.
Ah, that's beautiful.
They always inspire me.
Oh, that's lovely. And I must say, I had a great time, ladies, with you. It's unbelievable that we've gone from June to now, just having conversations. And today we're going to share with our viewers what happens in these conversations and how did they help. And I'm someone who loves talking, and as people talk, I always listen. And I loved when you say you do reconciliations. And today I said it's a reconciliation day. We're going to talk about coaching and saying how do we reconcile ourselves with ourselves. It's very important. Now I'm first going to ask you, maybe start with you, Kelly. When you came for coaching, what did you expect?
I was expecting, I don't know what to say, to be taught what to do. I had many mistakes which I did not realize that I was maybe not doing things right. I always belittled myself, thinking that I need to be appreciated in some way, not knowing that firstly you have to appreciate yourself. Everything starts with yourself. So I expected coaching Ms. Sebolao to maybe write down steps for me to follow. But then only to find out that things don't work out that way. She might be here being our coach, listen to whatever problems that we have, and then just advise. It's upon us to see to it what you do with the advices that she gives.
Great. What I want to specify is that not even advice. I was just asking questions,
True.
and I would listen,
Yes.
and you would find out for yourself. Because I think as I gave you the practices, we'll talk about those. That's where you actually were like, wow, okay, maybe before we even get there, let me not go ahead of myself. The same question.
Yes, the same question. For me, it was like, thank you, I really needed this because I had just come out of high school and I took a gap year. So with that gap year, I felt very overwhelmed because I didn't have a routine to wake up in the morning. I was just, like a lot of things were shattered. It was actually slowed down. I don't want to say shattered. They were slowed down and I didn't see direction in my life. I was just very stagnant in my life. And then when Mama Rosaline came, I thought that she would tell me what to do.
Yes.
I thought she would tell me to do this, change this. And then she gave me a book. I thought that this book maybe will do like reviews, she'll explain more and more, but I couldn't understand the book. And then I shifted, and as the coaches were going on, I realized that she's asking a lot of questions that I know the answers, but when I'm with myself, it's very difficult to come up with those questions and actually do them. So it actually helped me, she showed me that what I'm capable of, and that's what I just did.
Asking questions when you are with yourself, it was difficult to ask. So you see, coaching is just, we are just there to listen, to ask questions, and important questions. So we're just having a conversation like we're doing now. It might be at the end, it might have assisted somebody. So it's important for you to realize that you have it all within you.
Yes.
And you said you believe in God. I know you do believe. I believe in God. He has deposited something great in us. He knew that we will be capable. Now, true, you expected that. And as you've just briefly said, that's not what you found. What exactly happened?
A lot of I think I was challenged. It was a challenge to me because, like I said, I was expecting it to be like an easy, me, I'm just doing nothing, she's telling me what to do. But because I was very stagnant and very comfortable and very I was comfortable in the environment, I had to go out of that environment and actually stand up and do things. It was very shocking because some things that I wasn't sure. I was surprised that I'm capable of such. And as I went on with the questions, with the activities that she gave me, I realized a lot. Some are good habits, some are bad habits, and some need to change. So yeah, and what stood out to me was the creating healthy habits. That's what I would say changed.
Right. And something had to change. That's what you're saying. Only you could figure it out.
Yes.
I didn't have to say to you, no, this is not the way to go. You have to figure out. So what happened with you, Kelly?
Now with me, Ma, I think these sessions came at the right time. They came at the point where, as I said, I'm the treasurer at the church. The church services were no longer, we had no church services anymore because of the lockdown. As the Methodist church, there are assessments that we have to pay at the connection. So there was no money. There I was, the treasurer of the church, expected to pay an assessment. I have colleagues that I work with. I was very mad at them. I was telling Ma, I'm trying all my best, but it seems as if people are not appreciating, like I said, because it starts with you first. You cannot expect people to appreciate you whilst you're not appreciating yourself. It seems as if I expected people to say something to me, you know, and then by then I wanted to resign. If it wasn't for these coaching sessions, I don't think I would be sitting here still being the treasurer of the church. So, and my lifestyle, I'm a person that sacrifices a lot for other people. For the church, I was telling Ma that I don't even have time for my kids. I told her that when I was appointed the treasurer of the circuit, my children thought that because I'm going to the circuit, I was going to resign as the treasurer of the section. They told me that, Ma, you know, we thought that as from now on, we're going to have the normal Sunday dish, the well-prepared dish, not like you do, just rushing to make us something to eat each and every Sunday. That's my life. But then with these coaching sessions, I started to realize that some of the things I don't need to be there. Some things can just carry on without me being there. Doesn't necessarily mean that I have to attend each and everything. Though I'm still able to work at church, but it doesn't mean I have to attend each and everything. And I only realized that through these sessions. Ma even told me that I'm an overdrawn bank account.
That's how you presented to me your story. Because when all of you, when you came, you shared your story with me. And using, as I was listening, I was like, okay, this narrative that you're giving me sounds like an overdrawn bank account. And I think she understood it better because working with finances, you know, it makes sense. So having talked about that narrative, Ntatakas, do you want to share with your narrative? The one that we were now, the new narrative that we're moving.
Okay. My obviously challenged me. I'm gonna keep on saying yes because it was a very big challenge. I told her my stories and what I'm doing, what I'm interested in, because I think mainly that was the focus with me at this age. I wanted to know where to go and how to make things to work out. And then she said that because I'm also a dancer, I forgot to say.
All right.
I'm a dancer.
Wow.
I'm a dancer. I like this quote. I'll never forget this. She said that I'll be dancing through possibilities. And I started making that word real to me. And with every opportunity that I get, I take it, because whenever I dance, it's like a form of either relaxation or showing happiness or just releasing. So whenever I dance, I'm dancing to a possibility. So which it means if I'm dancing to be happy, then happy things are things that are going to make me happy will come. And then another thing that she said was that I navigate. If I had to navigate. If I'm interested in something, I'd go there and just collect the information. And I realized that I'm also a go-getter. So that stood out for me.
All right.
And I think what I need to also indicate is that while I was spending time with you in this conversation, in as much as you think you were gaining, I was gaining as well, because just listening to a young person who loves dancing and thinking of so many possibilities is also saying possibilities are not only for young people.
Yes.
There are many possibilities even for us, the old ones. So actually that was very interesting. And do you want to share about your narrative? The one that we
The
have been...
previous one.
No, the new one. The narrative that you've been living from June since we met.
All right, ma. The thing is, at church, I work with many people. At work, I also work with colleagues, with my manager. As I said, I'm a person that tries to do the most. And previously, I expected maybe those people to say well done, to be appreciated. But then, when they did the opposite, I took it very bad. And I was very, I did not want to be challenged. I was, because with finances, I told myself, like at the church, I'm working with people that don't know finances. I felt like because I know about finances, I don't need to be told anything. This is my speciality. So I felt as if I was being criticized. So Ma came up with this narrative that even though there are criticisms, even at work, I was telling Ma that it seems as if my manager doesn't see that we lost a colleague. The other one resigned, the other one passed away. And all the work had to be done by me. Because I'm doing reports. Before doing reports, I have to wait for them to do whatever they do and then report. So if there's no one doing what they should be doing, I have to do them. I have to do all their work before reporting. But it seems as if I was not, maybe my manager didn't see that. So Ma said that I have to be a flowing river. A flowing river because the water doesn't sit still. As it flows, it throws away the dirt. So I have to throw away this negative criticism. Just carry on. Because the water from the flowing river always carries fresh water. So I have to be that flowing river. Even inside the house, when I'm angry, you would hear my son saying, "No, Ma, you forgot you are a flowing river."
It's your way of being.
They have made me mad. And then I dread, "No, why didn't you clean up?" "No, Ma, remember, you are a flowing river."
Wow.
So they always remind me and I would just keep quiet.
True. Wow. That's very interesting because, once you build a narrative or you come up with a narrative for yourself and you live that narrative, it actually changes you. In Home of Inspiration, we say you must be the leader of your own life. So how do you become a leader of your own life if you allow people to just mess you up? Things will happen in your life, but it depends on how you do. They always say attitude matters. We don't have control over what happens to us, but we can respond. We have a choice on how to respond. So with coaching, that's all we do. We're looking at you as a full person, as a mind, body, and soul. You need to know that. I think the poem that I read for you is that the mind and the body, you cannot separate the two. So you need to know that what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, how do I feel, those are related. Okay, I just want to, you spoke about some practices. I think you just want us to share about the practices that you've been engaged with. Maybe one, to say which one exactly, just said, wow, this is me, and it's really working in me.
Now I would say the breathe-in practices, because now at work, if I come out of my manager's office, and then I'm somehow met, I would just sit down, do the practice, breathe in and out. After doing that for some time, I would feel so much better. So much better.
Sure.
And my temper would be just
Control.
yes, ma. Yes.
Sure. Amazing what breathing can do.
Yes.
One of the ladies said to me, "Sure, I could be addicted to this thing." And I'm like, why not? Why be addicted to the wrong things and not take this? I mean, it's free. We have it in abundance. The oxygen is free. I mean, now you just and breathe out. Remember the let go?
Yes, ma.
Because as you breathe in, letting go of whatever negative energy that is bothering you, whatever frustration that is, disturbing you.
And working with people, we
Definitely.
cannot expect
Even though you can't control
everything
how
to
they,
go smoothly.
Yes, definitely. Do you want to share with one of your practices?
Okay, I have two favorite practices that I'm going to. The first one was writing how my day goes.
Alright.
That one, a lot of things came to realization that I'm spending time on a lot of things that are time wasting. And it would be asked questions like, what did you do? How many minutes or hours did you spend? And I realized that I spend a lot of hours on unnecessary things. And then how is it going to impact me in what I want to do? And what else? Yeah, that. So me realizing that I'm spending time on that made me want to shift and actually keep time of what I do and what do I do actually. So that was the first one. And then the second was the self-affirmation.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I didn't necessarily speak any harm over my life, but just speaking positivity, good health, and everything. I started believing it, and I started being the things that I'm speaking to myself, and actually listening to it. It made me also believe it.
Yes.
So those are the two that stood out.
Wow, lovely. It's powerful to speak to yourself. Self-talk. I mean, you don't have to wait for somebody to come and say I love myself. I'm good. I'm gonna do what. It's important to learn, but we've never gotten used to talking to ourselves. So it's important even from the morning just to say that. Amazing. And I remember the exercise we did during one of our sessions where I asked, what is it that you love about yourself? and without really saying you must go there, I know that we have a tendency of saying, struggling to get, what I love my, but why don't you love yourself? First, this is what is important.
Self-love.
But I think it's also the environment that we are brought up in. It was like when you do that, you are selfish.
Yes, true.
And with coaching, in a way, I want you to say to you, you need to be selfish.
Yes.
Because not selfish in a bad way, but first consider yourself.
Yourself.
Because if let's say you are this cup, and then it was full when I gave it to you. When God gave you to this world, you're full. And then you keep on, sharing, pouring for dedication, pouring for that, and I'm not feeling mine. I keep on pouring. At the end, I'll be empty. Now, when you're empty, what will you give to other people? So that is why with coaching we say focus first on yourself. And then you can go out there and you can be able to be a blessing to others. But if you just keep on giving, I know at some point in my life I was feeling drained because you would support everybody else. But now what all we're saying is let's try and reconcile with ourselves and say, what have I been doing? How can I change in such a way that when I leave my house I'm happy? And I go and share the happiness, but still come back happy without really feeling like, why did I waste my time on these people? And when I'm feeling so tired, when you're tired, relax, rest.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So, having said that, what would you say about coaching when you have to share with other people? Do you think it's something that can really change the world? There are many things that happen in life. There are counselings, there are a lot of therapies that go on. But what do you think, having gone through some of them, if your experience of coaching, what has it taught you?
You know, now when I started with these sessions, I didn't even know about these coaching sessions. I didn't know what coaching is. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it would just be us having sessions, talking. I didn't realize that it would really change me, change my behavior. But then, as time went by, even before I realized, but my husband saw me.
Sure.
Your attitude has changed. After talking to your colleagues, I see a different Kele now. You're no longer mad as you used to be. That's when I realized that this river is really flowing with fresh water. So I would really, really advise people to go for coaching, because with coaching, you changing your life yourself.
Definitely.
Through the talking, you realizing what is it that you're doing wrong, where do I need to improve in order to change whatever I need to change. It's like you doing it yourself. Ma is there to help me do it all by myself.
Great. Wow. I love the part where you said even your husband saw the changes. And I mean, I'm saying, okay, thank you so much. The fact that change is noticed by somebody else, that says a lot. And I remember at some point you said, your son said, what is Rosaline always saying?
Yes.
So that says, I like that, because we always talk about the network of support. We cannot do without the support of other people. That is why we're saying, even when we want to support others, we cannot just go always, but we also need the support. So she has, in doing those exercises and practices, she was doing with them, and you also had your network of support. So that is very important. What I also want to comment on is knowing what is right and wrong. And I also want to say, sometimes it's not about wrong, it's about what is not good for me.
Yes.
Because it might not be something that is wrong. You know, being angry might be okay. If you are angry, you're angry.
It's natural.
But it's just how you get angry. Because if your anger makes you have pains in the body, then there's something, it means there's something. So you need to, that's why I would always ask, where do you feel the anxiety? When you say I'm anxious, do you want to share that? Where do you feel the anxiety?
Yes.
And what do you have to do? Because if you feel it in the chest and your chest is tightening, it means you want this anxiety to feel. So talk to your body, listen to your body, and do something. That breathing then helps to say, the pain goes, you know. Yeah, I think that the network of support is very important. Yeah, do you want to share something about the network of support?
For me, it was very difficult to have people, because I wouldn't say I am an introvert. I feel like sometimes people would not get me. So I don't even bother, because I have this thing where if I think this way, you should also understand at the time, and I should discern what I'm feeling. So the network of support, yes, maybe some people did see change in me, but then I don't get the feeling that they didn't tell me. I think I have changed, because I see it.
Yeah, but what I also mean is that the fact that when you did the practice, sometimes I would ask you, who do you think can remind you or can do this with you?
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my mom.
Yeah.
My mom, she would
Yeah.
actually wake me up or tell me, hey, did you do this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
she
it's
helped.
important for us to remember we are human beings.
Yes.
We can aim to do the good things or things that help us, but sometimes things happen. You find yourself not being able to do that. So it's always important to have people around you, even if they don't have to know what you're doing. Just to say, you know what, there's something that I'm doing. Just remind me to say 10 o'clock. Tatakas, you said you want to do something, and then you'll remember. There are different ways in which we can do that. Yeah. Okay, so what would you say to people about coaching who didn't know?
Yeah, I'd recommend it highly for people to get at coaching. Specifically getting a person to coach you, because yes, it's easy to have a person to listen to you, but sometimes you're not obviously going to tell everything or what you want them to hear.
Yes.
So it's better if someone asks you questions and challenges you and actually makes you think deeper. Okay, no, this is what I'm going through, and speaking to someone, when you speak to someone, when you have a problem, you're always complaining. At the end, you're always finding yourself finding the solutions yourself. So if you keep like coaching, we were the ones that were doing the talking and the discovery. She was only helping us with the questions. So I recommend it, and more especially to the youth. A lot of youth nowadays are going through a lot. They don't know how to handle the pressures of the world, and having someone accountable for you and someone that's helping you in this journey, as this destiny helpers, it's actually helpful because you start to see the world in a different view, and it's not easy for you to conform with the standards of the world and actually stand with your values. So the youth, highly recommended for you, and also for the older people.
Yeah. Great. I like when you say finding solutions for yourself. In coaching, I think you'd remember I always talk about self-generating and self-correcting, because wherever you make a mistake, you realize, okay, that is not the way I want to do it. Let me correct myself. My health is not okay. Why am I feeling this pain? There's something. Maybe I took too much coke or too much sugar, whatever. So you start, generating. And maybe going back to the narratives that I've shared, there are a lot of things around you that you can use. I just want to also advise the viewers to say, even simple thing can actually, you can look at that and decide to be that. I can look at that flower and say, wow, why can't I be the flower? Because as people watch me, they see this beauty. And you decide to be the flower, to be this beauty, because what do you want to see in a person? You see smile, okay, I want to smile because I want to be for myself before I can be for other people. And that flower, when those, roses, those petals, look at that one, there's something that just says, wow, I want to look at this. Anything, the reason why we spoke about the river, you as a navigator, it's things that are useful. It depends on what you identify as a source of information for yourself, So these narratives and a lot of metaphors that we've been using have been very helpful. I have mine, and now you have, and you can continue to identify many out there. So yeah, I think I'm happy that you have really gone through this journey, and it doesn't mean that it ends here. A journey does not end, you continue. It's a journey of life, and you'll find yourself identifying more metaphors. That's wow. I remember I was using the other one with one coachee of being a vegetable garden. To say what is necessary in the vegetable garden. I mean, I have mine. It needs to be watered. And if it is not watered, that beauty will not be there. So you need to water yourself. You understand? It's important that you keep on nurturing yourself. Where there's some weeds growing around it, take them out so that you can still enjoy looking. So those weeds are the negativity around you. People say negative things, just pull them out and throw away and continue water. depending on how you water yourself.
Yes.
I played some music in our last session
Nice
and
music.
read some poems for you guys. What those are the kind of watering yourself with, you know. Yeah. How else would you think about watering yourself as we are going to conclude this session? Because it's important that for me and for the viewers to know that now that we have really benefited,
Yes.
but when we live here, the next 12 months and then the other 24 years to come, that we still have to live. You continue. Yeah.
Okay. For me, would be observing the things that I do, not in taking everything that I see. To guard my heart on what I allow to watch, what I allow myself to watch, what I allow myself to say, to read. That would be watering myself, because in that, when I see, let's say I want to be an actor, and I want to be an actor, and I keep on watching movies, and more especially good movies, because there's a lot of bad movies that corrupt your spirit. So if I continue watching good movies and getting inspiration, I'll end up becoming like that, because that's what I'm focused on. I'm blocking all the negative things. So that would be watering myself for me.
Right. That's lovely.
In our, I think it was our last, or just before our last session, the session before our last, you spoke about a person auditing himself or herself.
Oh, lovely. She's a finance person, so that's why I use the financial language.
We go through things as we try to live our lives, and I think that advises me to always go back, auditing how I live my life.
Yes.
And then in auditing, you always have to, you do your audit work, and then you tell what went wrong or what is not done correctly. And then after that, you have to give out recommendations for this is how this is supposed to be done, this is where you went wrong, this is how you should go about doing these things. So I think that's one of the ways that we have to watch ourselves.
Great.
Always going back, see how you lived your life, what mistakes you did, and what recommendations are you giving to yourself. Or meaning, this is how I should start doing things. This is beneficial for me, for my life.
Great. Wow. Wow, that's reconciling with yourself. I like that. And as I said, she's a financial person. I just love listening to the concept, using the terminology from the finances. Ladies, thank you so much for really spending time with me on this Reconciliation Day, especially on this important day for Home of Inspiration, where we are really launching our vlogs. More of these are still going to come. I will be focusing on professional development. We'll be doing entrepreneurial coaching, individual coaching for individuals who are troubled in life or who need some guidance. So we'll be doing that. And having gone through the 6 months with you, I just want to say to you, go and continue becoming the best people that God has created you to be. And with this gift from Home of Inspiration, I'm saying, as you're drinking your nice tea, healthy wine, just remember me as you drink. Remember Home of Inspiration and you Ntitekazi. And I'll also remember you guys when I drink this. This came out of a journey that I took with some of the ladies. And I wish you all the best as you become the leaders of your own lives. And I think you will also be the ambassadors of coaching out there, because you have been coached and now you understand how to deal with your life. Many more years to come. Just continue becoming that river. Continue navigating through and dancing through possibilities. Do that, because that's what you love. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really have learned so much from this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much.